Assalamu alaikum and hello, welcome to another weekly Q&A about Islam. Before we start, yes, the link is there for those who would like to join. Before anybody join, I would like to talk about something that happened last week in Iran. Everybody must have heard about two terrorist attacks in Iran. It was this ceremony of or anniversary of the 4th anniversary of the biggest terrorist on the planet, Qasem Soleimani, who was assassinated by Donald Trump. And it was his 4th anniversary. The regime, Iranian regime, they gathered a lot of people. They took students from schools and brought them there for that ceremony. And then two bomb blasts and killed nearly 100 people. Hello, shalom, shalom, my brother or sister. I don't know. I forgot if you're brother or sister. Sorry, because your name doesn't say that. But anyway, shalom, my brother or sister. Anyway, so the Iranian regime first came up and said that, oh, Israel and USA, they attacked us. But, oh, my brother, yes, thank you. Thank you for confirming. If I remember, I hope that I will remember. So anyway, so they came up with this accusation that Israel and USA have done it. And before we dealt in this, that who has done this, we have to know with which regime we are. We are facing which regime. This regime is a regime that Ayatollah fascist Khomeini, he gave a fatwa many years ago and said that to keep the regime in power is the most important of anything. So you can do whatever to keep the regime in power, okay? And so that's opened the door to anything. And for example, in 1988, he massacred nearly 30,000 political prisoners. And it was such a brutal massacre that even his own deputy, Ayatollah Montazeri, came out and was, criticizing Khomeini, and Khomeini removed him from his position and put him in house arrest, 5 years in house arrest for protesting. Then in 1994, the biggest Shia shrine in a city called Mashhad was attacked. The shrine was attacked and 37 people were killed. I don't know, 100 people or something were injured. And the regime blamed the opposition group MEK, People's Mujahideen Organization of Iran, said that People's Mujahideen Organization was behind it. And I don't know, a few weeks later, I think, or was before that or after that, they killed 3 priests, Christian priests, yeah. One of them was a converted person. He was in jail 9 years. His name was Mehdi Dibaj, yeah. And he was 9 years in jail, and he got execution sentence. And then because of the pressure from Europe and other countries, the regime was forced to release him. But anyway, later, he, together with 2 other priests, they were killed. And again, the regime blamed the opposition group, MEK, for that killing. So obviously, as opposition, we knew that Iranian regime is lying for all of them. Few years later, a so-called reformist president came to power, called President Khatami. Because of the sanction from USA, he wanted to lift the sanctions, so he came up with this plan that we are going to reform, and reform means freedom, also some freedom to the people. So what happened? The hardliners, sorry, when I start to talk, I get these things in my throat. Anyway, so the hardliners, they were saying to the reformists that if we give the minimum freedom, we will fall. So what they did was that the Ministry of, what is it? It's called Ministry of Secret Police, yeah, what is called? Anyway, the Ministry of the Secret Police, yeah. So they started to kill some oppositions, and they started to kill some writers and opposition figures who were not doing much in Iran. It was called chain of killings. It became famous as chain of killings. Few weeks they were killing one by one, and then to show to the people that there is no reform. So don't think that Khatami is saying reform, and then you might think that it is freedom and you can come out and so on. So they were showing their teeth to the people, and this was a bad effect on Khatami's effort. So what happened? Reformists and hardliners, they started to fight, and then those reformists, they revealed that the the secret agencies are behind it. The secret police is behind these killings. So what happened? The government was forced to arrest the deputy of the secret police minister, the deputy of the minister. His name was sorry, his name was I forgot his name now. I will come with that. I have forgotten right now. But anyway, they arrested him. Saeed Imami, yes, Saeed Imami. You can just write Saeed Imami in Google. It will come up. They arrested him and they blamed that he did it himself, despite they cannot even drink water without the order of the leader, Khamenei. So they arrested him, and after 3 weeks, they killed him and said that he committed suicide. So they killed their own people to save the leader. And the reformists said that the bomb blast in Shia shrine in Mashhad was also by the security police, and the killing of those 3 priests. Okay, so we are facing such a mafia terrorist regime that do whatever to stay in power. And in 2019 or 20, remember, was not 2020, I think. Yeah, January 2020, Donald Trump killed Qasem Soleimani, and the Iranian regime vowed to revenge. And they knew that if they attack US, then Donald Trump would attack them. So what they did, they should do something. They informed Americans that we are going to attack one of your bases in Iraq. I don't remember the name of the base. At this time, we are going to send missiles. So please, just a moment. Yeah, sorry. So so that no American soldier get killed or injured, so that USA doesn't attack them. When they were shooting these missiles, they were thinking that USA might attack them. So what they did, one aeroplane, passenger aeroplane, it was Ukrainian aeroplane with lots of Ukrainian and Canadian citizens on that plane. When it lifted from Tehran's airport, after a few minutes, they shot it down with 2 missiles. They shot that airplane with 2 missiles. And in 3 days, they were lying. They were saying that, oh, it had engine failure and so on. Why they did it? Because they thought that Trump will attack them, and they wanted to put the blame on USA. But because USA didn't attack, so it was on their hand, that, wow, now what we shall do? So they started to lie that, yeah, it was engine failure. Then cameras came out, videos came out that there were 2 missiles. The first missile that shot the airplane didn't crash. It turned back. It turned back to go and land again to the airport. The second, after 30 seconds something, the second missile shot it down and it crashed, and 176 people were killed in that attack. So we are facing such a regime, okay? And ISIS has attacked Iranian regime or Iran 4 times. And every time they attack Iran is when Iranian regime need them to attack, okay? For example, it was 2019, I think. I don't remember exactly, but it was US Foreign Minister. He arranged a summit in Warsaw, in Poland, for a meeting to gather allies against Iranian regime. And exactly 1 day before that, ISIS attacked Iran. And in that attack, it was a military parade, and just innocent people were killed. Only innocent people. No any IRGC members or officials, nobody, just innocent people who were just there to watch. They were killed. And Iranian regime claimed victim of terrorism, and 2 other attacks as well. One of them was on Iranian parliament by ISIS. And they went inside the parliament. Instead of going and killing the parliamentarians, they went up to where the ordinary people had come to get some help or some paperwork or something. They were just killing those people. And everybody in Iran knows that Iranian regime is behind ISIS. Iranian regime ordered them to do something. They do it themselves somehow, and they say ISIS just take the responsibility. And even this time, it is so obvious for all Iranian that Iranian regime is behind this blast, that they are arresting people inside Iran who blame the regime for this blast. Can you imagine? They are arresting people. Hello, Miss Kay. All of that sounds more complex than illuminate conspiracy. I will play for you a video as well, okay? So let me explain, and then you see. So that Iranian people, majority of Iranian people, they know that Iranian regime is behind that to, because they need now to play victim of terrorism and attack and so on, and divert people's mind from revenge, because they have vowed to revenge, but they are not going to attack, to do anything, because they have said it clearly: we are not going to be dragged to this conflict, because they know that if they do something, they will fall. Then one of the officials also said that people are waiting that if USA or Israel attack the regime, they come out and bring down the regime. So they know it very well. Okay, let me see what totalitarian regimes don't need to play 4D cheese like that with their people. They just make a decision, and state upwards enforces it. Okay, that might be true in a country like North Korea. Miss K, my dear sister. I don't know, actually, I have asked you or not, your sister or brother, whatever. Anyway, so this is Iran. We are talking about Iran with a strong opposition, very strong opposition. We are talking about a country that last year, several months, the regime was going to fall. People were on the street, getting killed. Over 700 people were killed in those unrest. So we are talking about a weak regime, a regime that has no power. Okay, so bear with me. I will tell you more. Okay, so the regime is not going to do anything to revenge, and they have said it clearly. We know it. We hear it every day, and we see that only their proxies, they just shoot one missile here, one missile there, and so on. So they are not going. Even Hamas was criticizing them, Hezbollah as well, that we were expecting you more support, not like this, just to drop one missile here or there. Okay. Speaking of killing citizens and blaming it on someone else, Operation Northwoods is an interesting read. I don't know what is that. Okay, Operation Northwood. I'm sorry that I cannot comment on that. But anyway, so I was saying that in this thing that happened, again, just innocent people were killed. Okay, and they were bringing them. So it is 4th anniversary of Qasem Soleimani and his family, all officials, IRGC, everyone, they were in Tehran, in the capital. And this happened nearly 1,000 kilometers away from Tehran, on Qasem Soleimani's grave. And then so many different news. First, they said that it was a gas explosion, the first blast. Then later they came up and said that, you know what, it was two bags were exploded. 2 bags were exploded. And then later they came up and ISIS took the responsibility. Even ISIS showed 2 masked people, okay, 2 people with masks, and said these 2 people blow themselves up. Why you want to show masked people? They are dead. You are not going to, you shouldn't be afraid that they get arrested or something. So, and everybody say that ISIS take the responsibility for their actions right away. They prepare everything and take the responsibility. It took them 2 days to take the responsibility. And many, anyway, nobody believed that even ISIS did this, okay? First of all, as I explained, ISIS is Iranian regime. ISIS and Iranian regime are the same. And whenever they need to be attacked, ISIS, attack them. The proposal called for CIA operatives or to stage and commit acts of terrorism against American military and civilian targets, blame them on the Cuban government to justify war against Cuba. Okay, Iranian regime copy a lot of things from others. Perhaps that one is true. I don't know that. I haven't been studying it, and it sounds, correct, because I don't think that Cuba, I have, my criticism against Cuban government, that is not a democratic, okay, but I don't think that he was a terrorist. He would do terrorist attacks, I mean, Fidel Castro. Okay, despite I disagree with his way of, controlling the country and running the country, being a dictator. Okay, so but anyway, I don't think that he would commit a terrorist attack against innocent people. I don't know much, but I think I've never heard that he being involved in such things. Whatever Iranian regime is, and then another thing is that also Iranian regime blew up two Shia shrines in a city in Iraq in 2000, I think 8 or 9, to create Salam Alaikum, Brother Sayyid, to create this sectarian conflict, and make the country unstable for USA and UK, because they were afraid that USA might come after them after Iraq. So they wanted to keep them busy there. And yes, they blew up that Shia shrines, and then blame it on Sunni Muslims, and they created actually a lot of conflict there. Did you consider it could be Israel organizing these attacks, hoping to provoke Iran into attacking them? And Iranians said it was Islamic State instead to avoiding going to war. No, actually, despite Iranian, so-called ISIS has taken the responsibility, Iranian regime still says that no, USA and Israel are behind this. Okay, so they, whatever Israel and USA do now, Iranian regime is not going to go to war. I want to show you something fast. Let me see. Cancel. Let me see. There was also on YouTube this short news video. It is on Persian. I will just tell you what's it's saying, that what I was saying, that it is everybody, all Iranians, they say that Iranian regime was behind it. Okay, just a second. Okay, now I have to share, present. Brother Sayed, if you would like, you can join. All right. So this is, I put it on low because this is talking about the incident, and here it is night before. These are Qasem Soleimani's family and their officials. Night before, they were in Tehran in a concert. Okay, and then day after, they had a plan or ceremony in Tehran, instead going to the grave, because they knew that something's going to happen there. It's exactly like Ukrainian plane, when it crashed, people said that some important people, I don't remember who was it, they were going to board on that plane, and they were removed from the plane because they knew that they are going to shoot it down. Okay, so let me see what say. I really don't see what Iran gains from staging such attacks. If they wanted to invade someone, then it makes sense. No, but otherwise. Okay, so look, as I said, for example, shooting down that passenger plane. That one you cannot deny. They accepted themselves that they shut it down. Of course, they said that it was operators, fault. But if it was operators' fault, why you were lying 3 days until the videos came out? Okay, so they shut it down because they had an aim to blame USA on that attack because they thought that USA will attack them, but USA didn't attack. And now they do this because they want to play victim and not that they are going to attack, someone. They just want to prevent to be attacked. Okay, so that if tomorrow, for example, Israel or USA, they try to attack them, so they buy some, how do you say it? Sympathy, around the world, that USA, and that's why they blame USA and Israel, despite so-called ISIS has taken the responsibility. Okay, so that's why it is very, very, of course, complicated. But let me see. These are after that blast, they are vowing to revenge USA. And okay, this is and then this is Ayatollah fascist Khomeini's grandson. Okay, and they say, it. I can play it so that if you want, if somebody speak Persian, then you can ask. They say these bloods, they keep us in power. Okay, they said, let me see, openly. Okay. He said that it is positive, this terrorist attack, and these attacks create unity among us.
این باعث ناامنی نخواهد شد، باعث امنیت بیشتر میشه، به خاطر اینکه این جور کارها جامعه رو بیشتر دور هم جمع میکنه.
He said it will create more security because such a things bring the society together more. Okay.
همدلی ها رو بیشتر میکنه.
Anyway, that's his most important part.
هرگاه دلمون میخواد در کشور امنیتمون بیشتر بشه، باید تلاش کنیم انسجام ملیمون بیشتر.
He said anytime we want that our we want unity in the society, we have to try to do something like this. Yeah. He doesn't say directly, but indirectly he says that anytime we need to be united, we need such a things.
غلام حسین غیب پرور جانشین فرمانده سپاه کشته شدن ده‌ها نفر در کرمان را رمز حیات حکومت جمهوری اسلامی خوانده و گفته.
And this is one of the top people in IRGC, and says that these types of attacks help the government to stay in power. Can you imagine? These types of attack help the government to stay in power. And I said beginning that Khomeini gave a fatwa that whatever keep the government in power, you have to do it. Whatever.
این کشته شدن‌ها برای ادامه بقای نظام ضروری است.
These are, he says, these killings for the government to stay in power is essential. Okay, so these are things that they say themselves, and it is not just something that we invent. Okay, with this one we read, and I hope that you got your answer. Sorry. They have already prevented being attacked by joining. No. They don't think like that. That's absolutely doesn't immune them. Okay, they will. If USA, want to attack, they will attack. They don't care about any coalition or whatever, together with Saudi actually. Anyway, and it is, and we have to know that it is not just which is it, the attack. Sorry, it is not just to be attacked. Okay, they just Iranian regime is very afraid of the people and the opposition. So if USA cannot attack and they want to bring down the regime, then they have a way, which is lift the there was a agreement with my organization when they bombed us in 2003 that they don't allow us to fight Iranian regime with weapons. Okay, so if they lift that ban from my organization, the organization will bring the regime down within months. Okay, so these are things that they are afraid of. The Iranian regime, that USA might and the West might go to that. Let me see. I was going to. Okay, so I don't know if I want to. I put the link again there for those who anybody would like to join and ask question directly. And okay, and how exactly will they do it? Okay, that's very easy. They just allow us. Okay, we know that how to do that. Just killing, some of the mullahs, IRGC members, on the street, bring out people. It radicalizes people. We know that. Okay, we have done it in the past. We have been attacking the regime. It was, as I said, that exactly also when that President Khatami came to power, my organization killed 2 top Iranian mass murderers. One of them was the biggest butcher in the regime, and when he was killed, the entire nation were happy. And another one was a commander, the top commander in the Iranian military. And then they were attacking IRGC and Iranian intelligence service headquarters. So what happened? 6 days, the regime was shaking. 6 days. Students, they came out on the street, tens of thousands, and they were chanting, down with the regime. And Khamenei, the leader, was saying to the so-called reformist president that, do you see, I told you, reform is not possible. He was saying it clearly on national TV. And how can you know it won't end like Libya? I know it very well because we have in Libya, I have to read the rest, bunch of groups struggling for power after collapse of central government. I have to play, actually, I wasn't prepared for that, but I can play for you if you want. I can find it, play for you that the politicians that support our organization have said it time and time to time, all the time. Yeah, how do you say it? All the time. They have said it that Iran is different to Libya or other countries. We have an organization well organized and democratic, well organized and democratic, ready to take over. Okay, so Iran is different. Understand? We have an organization well organized and democratic that will take over. And unfortunately, some powers that do not want the regime fall because they know that this organization will take the power and will change the entire Middle East to a democratic. They have told us, yeah, that if you took the power and only Iran changed, we would have support you. But because the entire Middle East will change to democratic and stabilized region, then the West is not, happy with that, unfortunately, because they cannot sell their weapons, they cannot buy cheap oil, they cannot sell their, the region also start to develop. They want also to make their own gadget and so on. So there will be maybe another Japan and South Korea also in the Middle East. So that's why we know that it's not going to be that. We have our, exile government, the president. We have an elected president, Mrs. Mariam Rajavi, which with her 10-point plans, 10-point plans, and I can play it. Let me find it, and then I can show you fast. Google. All right, let me see who is joining. Hello.
Hello, greetings.
Greetings. How are you?
Good.
Welcome.
Marhaba.
Welcome. Marhaba. Salam alaikum, I say. Yeah.
Yes.
How are you?
Kifak?
How are you? I don't speak Arabic very well. I speak Persian,
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, yes.
Awesome.
Baba, I understand. Kifal. Yeah, thank you. How about you?
Good. Happy
Very
Saturday.
Yes, happy Saturday. Welcome. First time I'm glad to hear you.
Yes, I'm an Epicurean philosopher.
Okay, very good. Please let me know you have any question or topic.
Yeah. What is Islam's view of pleasure?
Pleasure. A pleasure for what? I mean,
Just living a life to seek pleasure. Is that a bad
okay.
thing or a good thing in Islam?
Okay, that's because we have a purpose of being on this planet. All right. The purpose is that we are created like all other animals. Okay, and but we have given this capacity, ability to understand, smart enough to understand, to communicate, so that God communicate with us, and He has given us a free will, unlike other animals. He has given us a free will to live like a human being and die like a human being, or to live like an animal and die like an animal. Okay, so if we choose to live like an animal and die like an animal, despite we have heard from our Lord that our purpose on this in this life is to live like a human being and die like a human being. If we don't do that, then we have rejected His plan and His command, which is loving one another, giving charity, fighting for people, for freedom, and all these things. Okay, because there are a lot of animals in this world that want to destroy us. They want to control us. All these dictators, Adolf Hitler, Ayatollah Fascist Khomeini, and so on. So there is a purpose in life that I cannot say. For example, there are people, my brother, that have left Iran, come to Europe, getting asylum, and living in the West, and they just living a life for pleasure. Okay, but people like me, we have come here to fight for the people of Iran. Despite we have our own life as well, but we fight. Okay, we want freedom for the people. It's not just about me. That I have a good life here, no problem. I don't care about others. It's none of my business. I'm not like that. And this is what God wants. This is what make me human. Okay. I hope that you understand what I say. Yeah.
Yeah. You insinuated that a life seeking pleasure is by definition selfish. but I
Yes.
want pleasure for everybody. If I'm
Yeah.
seeking a life of pleasure, I want everyone to have it too. It doesn't mean just me. It means for everybody as much as possible.
Okay. No, that's because actually my pleasure also is that everybody have that pleasure. Okay. If you take it in that way, then of course it's not a sin. Okay. Because you are not selfish. You are not just thinking about your own pleasure. You want that everybody else have the pleasure of a beautiful life. You know, uh, everybody have the same life like you have. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Okay, so this is what God wants from us, that I love myself to have a decent life, so I want that my neighbors, everyone else, also my own kind, have that decent life. So that's not a sin, that's a great thing. Okay, that's the purpose of life, that's the purpose of creation. But if you don't care about anybody, I just want to live, just go and drink, juice drug because it's fun, it's, good, make me happy, and so on. That's not that's a sin.
No, abusing drugs leads to unhappiness and
Exactly.
destruction. That's
Yeah.
not pleasure at all.
Exactly. But for
Maybe
some
a little
people,
bit of
it is pleasure. Yeah.
yeah.
They,
No,
they,
people abuse it, of course.
yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
That's.
a little bit if it's safe, but not the
I don't think.
dangerous ones.
No, I don't think that any of them is safe, because I always myself, even cigarette, I'm not using cigarette. First, I have to say hello to hindsight. Yes, that's in the Bible, not
What's in the
the
Bible?
Quran. I love your neighbor as you love yourself. It is in different ways. It is in Quran as well. Okay, and that is also the word of God. Okay, love your neighbor as you love yourself, and love one another. It is in different ways in Quran as well. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, says that the pleasure you get in forgiveness, you never get it in revenge. Okay, and
Um,
sorry, yes, please, yeah.
I like the Islamic teachings that promote like happiness for other
Mhm,
people and yourself and share
mhm,
with others. And I like the Islamic teaching of no interest
mhm,
because people use interest like when they have a loan to oppress others. So I understand that,
mhm. Yeah, yeah,
like why it's a haram to use interest to in order
yes, yes,
to make other people more poor.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't. There's some teachings in the Quran that are like anti-human. I see that are like not for like happiness.
Like what? Can you please tell me? Because this is the topic we are here. That's why we are here. Okay. So
Sure.
yes, you tell me, so that because there are many misinterpretation, misunderstanding of Quran. Let me read some of these verses that I was saying before we. Uh,
No
sorry.
worries.
Let me see. Yes, chapter 42, verse 23 says, anyone who does good to others, we give more good for him in it. Chapter 22, verse 37, give good news to those who do good to others. Chapter 39, verse 10, ultimate good awaits those who do good in this world. Chapter 28, verse 77, do good to others as Allah has done good to you. I can read, there are many, many verses. So these are with different words, but the same, like love one another. Yeah, please give me, tell me about those.
Yeah. And I have disagreements, but I'm not here to argue.
No, 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 we are,
Peaceful
yes,
conversation.
yes, yeah. If you have been listening to me before, it's always peaceful and loving. It's just a conversation, okay? We want to learn from each other, all right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's um Surah 434, chapter 4, verse 34,
Okay.
where it says that you can strike your wife
All
if they
right.
disobey you. How is that a good thing? Or if Allah is good, how can that be in the Quran?
All right. There was this actually. I had this very good that you brought it up. The clip was on MDD because I had this debate with Aaron Rowe, okay, on MDD, and they had put this part also there. Uh, Let me see for 34, so that I bring it up for you. That I was telling there, and many people always say, oh, it says like that, yeah, strike your wife and so on. So I was telling them, please call in, I will explain for you. Before, my brother, before anybody try to go in reading Quran, they must read chapter 3 verse 7 to see how to read Quran and what it contains. It says, chapter 3, it is he who has sent down to you, O Muhammad, the book. In it are verses that are precise. They are the foundation of the book. Okay, so there are those precise verses that are the foundation of the book, and Quran use a word that they decide for interpretation of the unspecific verses. Okay, they are the foundation. They decide what those other verses, the unspecific verses, should mean. Okay, and it continues say, and others unspecific. As for those whose heart is corrupted, they will follow that of it which is unspecific, desiring to create confusion and their own interpretation, and no one knows its true interpretation except Allah and those firm in knowledge. So Allah and those firm in knowledge, they know the true interpretation of those verses. So, and they say, we believe in it, all of it is from our Lord, and no one will be reminded except those of understanding. So when we read let me see, sorry, I have to bring this strike. Okay, so when we read the word strike in Quran, we see that chapter 43 verse 5, strike is ignore. Shall we also ignore you because you are a wanton fault? Okay, chapter 4 verse 101, strike is travel. Chapter 18 verse 11, strike is cower. Chapter 20 verse 77, strike is search. And there are other verses in Quran that also have strike has a different meaning. So why someone should take this strike in chapter 4 verse 34, exactly in that verse, beating wife? Because for some people it's obvious that, okay, yes, a husband has the right to beat his wife, but naturally, first of all, the precise verses of Quran is that God is just. Okay, God is just, and God doesn't command us injustice. This is injustice, that a strong man has the right to beat his wife. The thing is that we have to be also rational and think that if God was in favor of wife beating, why he should send down a verse, his final messenger come down and say, hey, my people, I've come here with the final message of God, beat your wife. People say, excuse me, we have been beating our wife to death. Okay, and even those scholars who translate it as strike, as beat your wife, they realize that it is not possible that God gives the permission to a husband to beat his wife to death. Okay, or for example, in Mexico in 2019, just 3 months in lockdown, 1,000 women were killed in domestic violence. Okay, so if God wanted, allow people to beat their wife, then He wouldn't need to send, a verse in Quran and say beat your wife, because people were obviously doing it. God, for example, didn't send a verse to say how to ride your camel, because there was no problem. That wasn't the problem in the society. The problem in the society was that people were beating their wives. Okay, so God sent a verse to solve that problem. Okay, and if, for example, you go and sign a life insurance, that life insurance is not valid in 2 years. Why? Because in case that you have some plans to commit suicide and get money for your family, 2 years time might change that plan. Okay, so insurance companies put you in hold. It is called to put in hold. All right. So God in that chapter 4, verse 34, put you in hold. Okay. So that if you want to do something, then you might change your mind. It says that men are provider of women by what Allah has given one over the other and what they spend from their wealth. So righteous women are devotedly guarding in the husband's absence what Allah would have them guard. But those wives from whom you fear arrogance, first advise them. Then, if they persist, forsake them in bed. Okay, so it is 2-3 nights. And I'm a husband. I know myself that if I get angry or something, already day after, I come down and things change. We start to talk. Okay, everybody know that. Okay, so the moment you are angry, you might do something wrong. Okay, so that's why God put you in hold. Okay, forsake them in bed, and finally leave them. But if they leave them, go. But if they change their ways, seek no means against them. Surely Allah is the highest, the greatest. Next verse, 435 explain. And in case you fear split between the two, so split in which way? If he beat her, then this problem should be solved. But here there is still the problem is continuing. And what? It says that, and in case you fear split between the two, then send forth a judge from his family and a judge from her family, in case they both are willing to act righteously. So it is about both, not even one. Allah will cause them to reach an agreement between them. Surely Allah is all knowing, all over. So chapter 4, verse 34, if anybody knows that beating your wife is not going to solve the problem. And we see that God wants to solve the problem, the domestic problem. Okay. So the same problem is for women. In chapter 4, verse 128, if a woman fears indifference or neglect from her husband, there is no blame on either of them if they seek fair settlement, which is best. Humans are ever inclined to selfishness, but if you are gracious and mindful of Allah, surely Allah is all aware of what you do. There are many verses up. I have to tell you this. Chapter 33, verse 28, 29, 30, 31, plus chapter 60, verse 1 to 5. Allah instructs his own prophet about his wife. Says that in chapter 33, verse 28 to 31. O prophet, say to your wives, if you should desire the worldly life and its adornment, then come, I will provide for you and give you a gracious release. But if you should desire Allah and his messenger and the home of the hereafter, then indeed Allah has prepared for the doors of good among you a great reward. O wives of the prophet, whoever, if you should commit a clear immorality, for her the punishment would be doubled twofold, and ever is that for Allah easy. And whoever of you devotedly obeys Allah and his messenger and does righteousness, we will give her her reward twice, and we have prepared for her a noble provision. Not a single instruction to beat your wife, okay, to the prophet himself. And chapter 66, verse 1 to 5. And he's talking about immorality, okay? If you commit immorality, so Allah will punish you. So always in Quran, the punishment is hereafter, not in this life. If I want to read for you, there are many, many verses of Quran that I can read for you to prove you that Allah doesn't allow injustice, and that's unjust from a husband that is strong, and he might be even wrong, drug user or whatever. and he come home and drunk and he beat his wife. This is absolutely, unjust, and Allah doesn't allow such a unjust to happen. Yeah, brother. Brother Samos. Yeah.
Epicurus of Samos.
Yeah, Samos. I call you Samos. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, please. Yeah. If you have any other question, or you think that it wasn't enough, because I told you that strike has been used in different ways in Quran. Okay. And yes, you cannot just translate unspecific verses of Quran. Yes.
Yeah, you have to go outside the verse into other parts of the Quran and do some word study, and then
Yes.
you have to possibly get other commentators, and
Yes.
it's
Exactly.
just, if it's a if it's a giant misunderstanding,
Yeah.
I assume hundreds of thousands of Muslim men have actually beat their wives. Like, is it wise for Allah to put this verse in here that can be easily misunderstood?
All right.
Like, shouldn't he make it more
All
clear?
right.
But
Yes.
that's another, that's a
Yes.
hypothetical.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Samos. I told you that in Mexico, first of all, I have to say salam alaikum, brother Sayed, because he's here.
Wa alaikum salam, brother.
How are you, inshallah?
Good.
Alaikum salam.
Yes, yes. Thank you. So, Samos, I told you that.
Epicurus. Sorry, Epicurus.
Epicurus, yes. It's a bit longer anyway. Epicurus. It is like this, that I told you that just in, lockdown, 3 months in lockdown in Mexico, they killed 1,000 women, the husbands, yeah, in domestic problem. So even those, my brother, even those who interpret it or translate it as beat your wife, you know what they say? They say, no, you have to beat your wife with the toothbrush, okay? And it doesn't have to leave some what do you call it, red brows on her body, and you have no right to beat her in face. So it shouldn't be visible at all that she has been beaten. Okay, so even those who do that, they realize that no, it is not the beating, like beat her. And people, I tell you that people, like in Japan, if husband was even he was not happy with her cooking, all right, and he wasn't pleased with her cooking, then she should bring down her head, and he had the right to behead her with his samurai sword. Okay, so men have done this throughout history with the most brutal way and so on. So they didn't need a verse of Quran to give them the permission and so on. So if they have beaten their wives, they didn't, care about that there is a verse or there is not a verse. Okay, so because even the verse, if you take it in that way, the scholars say no, you cannot beat your wife in that way. I mean, to beat her like a crazy person. So it has to be with, they call it miswak, which is a toothbrush, and it's not in face. You don't have to beat her in face. You have to beat her in her body, but it shouldn't leave any spot, any brows, anything. Okay. So you see that even that is not, a good excuse to take that one and say that, if they beat their wives, then that's because, Allah has given these verse. All right. And as I read for you, look what is Allah. I have to read for you more. Chapter 65, verse 6. Allah says about a woman that I hate, I divorce her. I don't want to see her anymore. Okay. But Allah says, let the woman who are undergoing a waiting period, okay, it is 3 months. I have to keep her 3 months. Live in the same manner as you live yourself, in accordance with your means, and do not harass them with a view to making their lives a misery. And if they happen to be with child, spend freely on them until they deliver their burden. And if they nurse your offspring, give them their recompense, and take counsel with one another in fair manner about the child's future. And if both of you find it difficult that the mother should nurse the child, let another woman nurse it on behalf of him. So this is about a woman that I have divorced. I don't want to see her, but I have to keep her 3 months with such a great manner. Okay, so definitely God doesn't allow me to beat my wife. That chapter 30 verse 21 says, and among his signs is this, that he created for you mates from among yourself, that you may find tranquility in them, and he has put love and mercy between you. Verily in that are signs for those who reflect. So he has put love and mercy in me towards my wife. Chapter 4 verse 19, O believers, it is not permissible for you to inherit women against their will or mistreat them, to make them return some of the dowry as a ransom for divorce, unless they are found guilty of adultery. Okay, treat them fairly. If you happen to dislike them, you may hate something which Allah turns into a great blessing. Okay, so when you read other verses of Quran as well, okay, it's not just one verse. Quran has more than 6,000 verses. So when you read other verses of Quran as well, you see that Allah wants me to love and have mercy towards my wife. Okay. Yes.
Love and mercy.
Yes.
I wish all Muslims thought that way,
Yeah.
despite
We will make them.
they might interpret it.
We will change them. Yes.
I'm not opposed to religion. I just want the good aspects.
Yes. Very good. Yes. And then I have to say, I tell you that this is the channel is for that. We are trying to change anybody who has the minimum hate towards someone else, in them, through Quran, and teach them, the true teachings of Quran. That yes, I have to see if you bear with me. We have to be honest about this. I don't know which one honest about that. Even politics. Sorry. Even the police doesn't protect them. All right, I don't know. Maybe it's not for me.
That's a problem with that country, not necessarily the religion.
Yeah. Okay. Because I didn't read I haven't read there are a lot. Yeah. Do you have any other question, please? If there are, I would be more than glad to answer. If there are other verses as well. Yeah. Curse. Sorry. I don't know this word. Epicurus. Yeah. Epicurus.
Yes, Epicurus.
Epicurus. Yeah. Epicurus. Please, do you have any other verse that you would like to discuss?
Just the concept of eternal torture in hell.
Okay.
What is the point of an all-loving good God who wants to solve the world's problems and make this world good for everybody? What's the point of a torture chamber?
Okay.
And Christianity has the problem too. It's not just Islam.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is that, first of all, I have to say that Epicurus is I'm a converted Muslim. Okay, I converted to Islam. I was an atheist, and my conversion to Islam is not that God exists. It's not about that heaven or hell exists. No, my conversion to Islam is that I want to solve the problems of the world, and I found Islam to be the religion that wants to solve the problems of the world. The problems of the world is a satanic system, a jungle system that the strongest one get the most and weakest one get the least or nothing, and people try to gain more and more by for gaining more and more they oppress each other, they kill each other. Okay, they create all the problems. So for me, the system, it is called, in reality, it is called today capitalism. Okay, I see the source of all problems in this system. And Islam wants to get rid of this system and create the equality, okay? A world where we share everything with each other and we love one another. No one has more, because everything is from God. We have to share them. Nobody has the right to take more than others, and so on. So I converted to Islam because of that. And my concern is this world is not next world, that people might be there. For example, the verses I read for you, to love one another and so on. If Adolf Hitler is going to be torture eternal in next life, I'm not going to say that, okay, I'm not going to follow such a God, okay, that is going to torture Adolf Hitler or Khomeini forever, and not following these beautiful commands and verses, okay? So it is something, first of all, people, we don't know what is that forever, how long is that ever, His ever, God's ever, and so on. Our ever is until we die, or until this universe exists. After this universe disappear, the ever is end. So how long is His ever? I don't know, okay? And I'm not going to, be, concerned about Adolf Hitler, and it's not. Some people may think that perhaps you are an atheist. Some people say that, oh, you will go to hell. No, this is not true at all. As I said from the beginning, as long as you live as a human being and die like a human being, you are going to be rewarded. Okay. If you do
not just Hitler, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
unbeliever, those
No,
who do not accept the message of Islam. That's what, isn't that what the Quran says?
No, absolutely not. This is what we have been discussing. I have videos on my channel. Who is a kafir? It says kafir, okay? And kuffar are not the disbelievers, okay? Chapter 16, verse 83 says, they recognize the favor of Allah and then they deny it. Most of them are kafir, okay? So when it comes to that verse, those who translate kafir as disbeliever, okay, they change it to something else, because it doesn't make sense that most disbelievers are kafir. Either all of them are kafir or none of them. Quran says they recognize the favor of Allah and then they reject it. Who are they? They are the disbelievers, and most of them are kafir. Quran says not all of them. So kufr is not about believing or disbelieving. In Islam, there is nothing to do with your belief or disbelief. Everything has to do with your your deeds. Chapter 107. Let me read it for you to, I have to read it from the chapter, okay? Chapter 107 is saying that, have you seen the one who denies the religion? That is the one who repulses the orphan and does not encourage the feet of poor. So this is their bad deeds, those who reject the belief. And then it continues. So woe to those who pray. Who praise? The believers. Okay? So Allah, woe to them. Say, woe to those who pray, yet are not mindful of their prayers. Those who only show up and refuse to give even the simplest aid. So in this chapter, Quran put believers and disbelievers beside each other because of their actions. Okay, so their actions is what is counted, not their words, not their praying. Okay, that the king or the sheikh that has $1 billion car collection and he's praying and fasting, those praying and fastings are just showing off. Okay, chapter 49 verse chapter 49 verse 13 says that let me see. Yeah. Chapter 49 verse 13 says, "O mankind," okay, this is not all believers, this is not all Muslims, it's a all mankind. So it's about you, my brother, it's about Christian, Jews, politics, everybody. "O mankind, indeed we have created you from male and female and made you peoples and tribes that you may know one another. Indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you. Indeed, Allah is knowing all over. In reality, the righteous is in Arabic taqwa. Taqwa, I render it as sacrification. The sacrification which we were talking about, giving to the poor, helping the orphans, giving charity, and all these things. These are taqwa. Okay, what I'm doing here now in Sweden, that's also taqwa, that I'm fighting against a dictator regime. Okay, so taqwa is sacrifice, that you sacrifice for your own kind. So the best of you is the one with the most taqwa. And we believe that even a Marxist who get killed, or those who were killed, for example, last year there was unrest in Iran. We had Muslims, Christians, Marxists, atheists who were killed by the regime. We call all of them martyrs. And we know the martyrs in Islam are the highest position, okay? They go directly to heaven. And we call them martyrs because they are all in the same rank. They did the ultimate sacrifice for their own kind. They didn't just live their own life and say, I don't care, I just live my life. Epicurus, brother?
Yes.
So that's also, I hope that I answered you that disbelief, there is no such a thing in Islam. It is just a wrong interpretation of a bunch of backward, scholars that say that you don't believe in what I believe, you go to hell.
I understand. It's just it's a more positive view of Islam.
Yeah. I have to say this fast. Sorry, I have to say this that Shia extremists say Sunnis are also going to hell. Sunni extremists say Shias also are going to hell. Okay, so these people, they don't even accept that another Muslim who accept Allah, who accept Prophet Muhammad, they go to heaven. They say they are also disbeliever. Understand? So you see their mindset is very, very narrow, and they are a bunch of ignorance. Yes, brother.
Yeah, it's a very positive. It's a much more positive take on Islam.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's just you're in the minority, unfortunately.
Okay, I have to say this one as well. That we are millions. Okay, and we will increase definitely. I know that in the past we didn't have. If I have said it many times, and I tell you also, if it was 100 years ago, I could also be thinking like those Muslims. Okay, if I was born even today and raised in a village in Afghanistan, I perhaps would also think like them. But because of the technique, because of this internet, because of education, I have been able to communicate with others and share information, share ideas. I've been able to read different translation of Quran. Understand? So that's why things is going to change. Yes, I know that it was a problem in the past, but the problem is going to be solved soon. Yeah, brother.
May all religions seek for the greater good of humanity.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you for being
Nice to
here.
meet you.
Yes, please, if you have other questions, I go live every Saturday, so you know where to find me. Okay.
Sounds good, brother.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. Take
Blessings
care.
to you.
Yeah, thank you to you too. Assalamu alaikum, we say.
Yeah. Salam alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Take care. Bye. Brother Syed, how are you, inshallah?
Yes, brother, I'm good. How about you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. Let me see. I would like to go to Mr. Tree is here. Hello, Mr. Tree. So those verses that cannot be understood are pointless and irrelevant to mankind. No, they can be understood, yeah. But please, I hope that you are there, Mr. Tree, yeah. But please, if you misunderstand it, yes, don't follow it, okay? Because it is not for you who misunderstanding it. All right. So for people who misunderstanding, it's better that they don't follow it. Allah doesn't want you to follow a verse that you don't understand and go kill people, for example. You think that I have to go and kill non-believers, Muji, you just said a husband has the right to beat his wife. Did I hear? No, I didn't say. No, you heard it very wrong. That I can tell you right away. Let me see. You have anything to say, Brother Sayed?
Yeah, I have been going to the Ali Dawah channel too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yes. Removing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm not going to comfort him.
Mhm.
I just innocently ask the question.
Okay.
Like why did Allah said who will change his religion, kill him? Allah said. Now, I didn't say Prophet Muhammad said.
Okay.
I said why did Allah say who will change his religion, kill
I'm
him?
about to say.
So, this way they cannot say, "Hey, Prophet Muhammad say Allah does not say that." You know.
Uh,
So I play game with them. I don't want to comfort them, but
all right.
So I just try to go innocently asking question.
Okay.
I
Yes.
don't want to force them,
Hmm.
but the audiences are listening up our point, our question. So that's what I want to. But I will not go and oppose them, but
Hmm.
gently I try to questioning them. That's
Hmm.
how policy I try to adopt this.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You're a politician. I'm not. Hell is not a torture chamber. Okay. I don't know how is it. I just know that there is a hell and heaven. So I don't believe that Adolf Hitler should go to heaven. Okay, because it's absolutely unjust. Okay, so he should get some kind of uh, justice. Okay, for his actions. Inspiring philosophy had a video about it. Okay, I don't know about that. So Inca Empire share things too. Inca, yeah. To even, sorry, what was that? Even their slaves were fed. No Abrahamic religions were needed. Inca Empire shared things too. As I know, all I know that Incas, they were, they were sacrificing their slaves, killing them. That I haven't heard anything positive from those pagans. If Adolf Hitler was accepted into art academia, he wouldn't ever get into politics. Why didn't God predict it and let him study art? God, I have to tell you that God has given us the free will, and his interfere is just to, to guide us, to send us prophets and teach us. He's not going to, to take somebody from, stop even somebody from doing bad deeds. Okay, to, for example, Adolf Hitler killing people, stop him. He has left his, this duty on us, that we stand for our rights. Okay, that's also, if there is no these barriers, then how you are going to be tested? So it is a test for us too. Okay, Brother Sayed, would you like to say something?
Yeah. Yeah, we need to be a little bit smart with these people. We just don't go and to confront these people. Try to show we are against you, then they will not take in the stream. So we just go innocently ask the question about this
Yeah, but they go, start to lie, even to me, lying that, oh, it is about treason. It's not about, he said, even I have, apostate friends. He was even saying that I have friends who are apostate. Excuse me. So it doesn't say that it's about treason. Even if it is about treason, we don't kill the treason.
no, we could ask, why didn't Allah kill the shaitan? when he apostatized,
Mhm.
so he asked for permission to mislead the people,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
spread the fitna. Why didn't Allah kill him? So
Okay,
we
yeah.
can ask, smartly, so we can defeat them this way. Otherwise, if we just go against their, belief, they will not take you again back in the stream. So you should go over there and innocently ask about the hadith says this, hadith said this. Could you explain to us? Could you explain to me? So this way we can defeat them.
Mhm. I have to answer this. Says doesn't matter. The Quran says it. Okay, that's your understanding. Okay, I don't believe in that, so I decide about that's my Quran. The Quran of ISIS and Taliban might say that beat your wife, but my Quran doesn't say that. In the West, there are laws against it. They go to jail. Not in the Muslim world. It's encouraged. No, it is not encouraged. Uh, uh, if a true Muslim country and world exists, then they will be also punished and go to jail. Be honest, it says. I am absolutely honest. I believe in what I say, and I read for you the verses that instruct me to be just and loving towards my wife, okay, and mercy. Women's testimonies never involved a toothbrush. They use their fists against them. I don't know what you say, because these scholars, so-called scholars, say that you have to use your toothbrush and it doesn't have to put. Am I right, brother? Say it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't believe about.
No, I mean, I know that you don't believe, but
I have a little bit different view about this wife beating.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Mhm.
but I will tell a high side. You talking about wife beating. I mean, in your America, there are lot of abuse of women goes on. This is just a man nature of
Yeah.
beating up a wife. So America, a Western country, they have lot of abuse more than any Muslim country. I can guarantee this.
Mm. I mean,
Rape, rape,
I I don't
everything
know.
is,
No, I
yeah.
say I don't know if any woman were killed in domestic problems in a Muslim country, while in Mexico 1,000 women were
Yeah,
killed.
yeah. The Western country has a lot of problem of wife beating more than Muslim country. At least we Allah, our religion said to be if you abuse somebody, our religion said Allah will punish them.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. There is a punishment for them. Yeah,
uh,
I want to say that I don't know from where you have gotten this trash hadith. Okay, that's hadith which a lot of people they just wrote.
this could be that time Muslim were facing prosecution. Also, maybe that's what she referred to, the Muslim women are suffering.
No, I don't know what is that, because this say Muhammad, even Muhammad didn't help Aisha friend whose skin was greener than her clothes. He sent her home. Okay, that's a. I tell you that these. What is it? People they have been just. And there was this Dr. Shabir. Today I was watching one of his video, and he was saying that people to promote their own things, they were saying, even in the market, people were using that, saying Prophet Muhammad liked this product, for example, so that people buy it. Yeah, so it was a custom to do that. If somebody was not happy with his wife, he would spread some stories about Prophet Muhammad, so that somehow it come back to his home, and his wife hear it, and then you know obey him, and so on. Even Aisha was said that she has never seen. Okay, but I read for you verses of Quran that Allah said in Quran to Prophet how to treat his wife. Okay, so you can't find you can't find a verse that says Prophet Muhammad had the right to do this. I read for you, Quran instruct Prophet Muhammad how to deal with his wife. That even if they commit immorality, okay, then Allah will punish them. Not a single word that Prophet Muhammad punished them. Okay, yes, that's true. But the women are protected. Okay, I don't know what do you mean protected. May I jump on for us? Of course, you. Here is the. Let me see. Yes, the StreamYard. Here is the link. Please call in and we can explain for you, or you can ask questions.
Brother,
Yes.
one verse Allah said, live live with your wife kindly or release her graciously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how can Allah say to beat
Okay.
her?
Which verse? Yeah. Which verse is that? So that.
I will find for you.
Yeah. Please. Yes. Find it.
Okay.
Yes. That's the link. Okay. Here.
Yeah, I will look for.
Hello.
Okay, hi.
Hi. How are you?
I just don't want you to think that I hate Muslims or
No.
anything
No.
like
No.
that. That's not what I'm saying.
No. I know. I
Wh-
know. I understand.
What
Don't
I'm
worry.
saying is that I've seen too many uh, testimonies of women who have left their countries undercover
Mm-hmm.
because they could not take the beatings.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew that they couldn't tell their families, they
Okay.
couldn't tell the police, they couldn't tell anybody because the families, just for her protesting against it, would say that she was oh, what do you say? Um,
Mm-hmm.
Humiliating the family or
Mm-hmm.
something like that,
All
that
right.
she was bringing shame upon the family. So what they have to do is they literally have to sneak out of the country undercover to get
Okay.
away, and that's the only way they survive. And I've
Okay.
seen a lot of these.
Okay. Uh, Now, may I respond to that, my sister? Okay. I'm born and raised in Iran. Okay.
Okay.
And I remember once my father was beating my mom. Okay. Once. And that was the only one in many, many years that I saw. And it wasn't about next generation, for example, was not such a things at all. But it wasn't about bringing shame or anything. If the women are strong, for example, if they were from a richer family, a woman was strong economically and so on, independent, then they would stand for their rights. So women usually were quiet not because of the society or something like that. They were quiet because of their situation. And this is not only in Islamic world, it's everywhere on the planet.
I
Okay.
understand that those things happen, like in the
Yeah.
USA and everywhere else. I get that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the difference is that a man does that to a woman, like say in America, they go to jail
Okay. Yes.
immediately. And none of the family members would ever dream of
Okay.
telling the wife that she has brought misery
I
upon the
know.
family because she complained. They would support her and say, "Yes, you don't need to be around this stuff."
Yes, yes. My sister, my dear sister, okay, uh, uh, go back to maybe 100 or 200 years ago, okay, such a laws didn't exist in America either. So you have developed, your country has developed, okay, and the laws are there. Many, many countries haven't developed yet in Latin America, in Africa, and they don't have such a laws, okay, and people kill even their wives, they abuse their
Yes, they
wives,
do.
and yes. So this is more about, not about religion, it's more about the development of a country to be a democratic country. When the country is democratic and women get their rights also, then they will also be in the system, they get their rights. If a husband beat his wife, then the husband will be punished. Okay, so the religion doesn't encourage, it is more about their economy, about their development, about the democracy as well. Okay, so a democratic country doesn't allow women be oppressed. Women come out for their rights. Okay,
Okay, so you saying that the more that these countries develop, that this thing is gonna go away?
exactly. This thing, and then not only that, economically as well. Okay, economically
Yeah,
they develop. The woman goes out and work and is not afraid of divorce. Okay, so that if her husband is what is it, abuse her or beat her, then she can easily divorce. Okay, but if she's vulnerable, if she's poor, if she, then she will not do that. Okay, because she knows that uh, her situation will be worse. Okay,
yeah, and that's a shame because just because she has no means to support herself and
yeah,
everything, she stays in the misery
yeah,
because
yeah,
she doesn't feel like she has any other choices at all.
exactly, yes. And that's as I said, it is more, it's not only Islamic countries, everywhere. Okay, anywhere that,
Yeah, I get
yes,
that.
yes, yes. So we have to work towards a more just world, and people get their rights, democratic governments as well. For example, you are American, yeah, sister?
Yeah,
Yes. For example, in my country, Iran, we want democracy. We want to get rid of Iranian regime, but unfortunately, Biden and people like him, they support this terrorist regime that has destroyed the entire Middle East in 40 years. 44
yeah,
years they have been supporting this regime. Obama gave them over $100 billion. Biden has given them nearly $100 billion. And this money, they go just to oppress Iranian people, to all the terrorists in the Middle East, okay, because they want conflict in the Middle East and sell their weapons. They want to buy cheap oil. Unfortunately, from other side, some people who don't know such a things, they blame Islam for all this chaos and so on. No, it is not Islam. It's about business that some countries, they want the Middle East in chaos so that they can sell their weapons and buy cheap oil and so on. But we will eventually, we will bring down the regime, and we will bring democracy to the Middle East, and women rise up. Okay, I follow an organization that women are leaders. They are Muslims, but they are leaders. Okay, and we
that's
believe in,
good.
yeah, we believe in equality between men and women. Okay, all are equal. And there was a politician from Jordan, a woman parliamentarian. She met my leader, Mrs. Mariam Rajavi, and she told her that when you take the power in Iran, it is not only women in Iran who get their equal rights and power. The entire Middle East women will rise up. And unfortunately, it's something that the West doesn't want. The West wants Middle East backward because they
That don't
want,
make any sense to me.
yeah, because they want to sell their weapons. Barack Obama, who won Nobel Peace Prize, how much weapon he sold? He sold 3 times more than George W. Bush. 3 times. Just Google it. $275 billion, and most of them went to the Middle East. you know,
Yeah.
and they were making Saudi Arabia, UAE, and all those countries afraid of Iranian regime. Say, oh, Iran is there. Yeah, buy weapon, buy weapon, and they were supporting Iranian regime. Unfortunately,
Well, I appreciate you giving me a little more understanding and
you're
for
welcome.
those women's sake, I hope you're right that it's gonna change.
Let
But the
me.
problem does exist, and
uh,
somebody needs to stand up for these women. Somebody has got to.
yes,
I have a question. Inside, violence agent women in America by their husband and their boyfriend. If you look at in the Wikipedia, you will find America is the most upper. Upper. They have most violence agent women than any other country in the world. So
Well, I don't know about that, and I would also say that if it's being protected over there or I don't know, swept under the rug in these Muslim countries, how in the world would you ever know the numbers on that?
the
Nobody talks about it.
no, no,
It gets swept under the rug.
No, no, no. Look, women in a Muslim country, they can complain to the police and they can get the divorce. We are the lowest people who get the divorce. In your country, divorce is 50% are divorce or more, maybe more. So this is all violence happen and they get divorce. So you need to look at yourself. In I give you the over here, brother. Mujhe
Yeah,
I put the
yeah, I will
quote.
check it. I will check it. Yeah,
Uh,
I have to say that to this sister, this is my, exile president, Mrs. Mariam Rajavi, okay, and this is her 10-point plans for future Iran, okay. It's we
Okay.
believe in complete gender equality in political, social, and economic uh, arenas. We are committed to the separation of religion and state. We are committed to the abolition of death penalty. We want a pluralist system, freedom of parties and assembly. We respect all individuals' freedom. In our view, the ballot box is the only, sorry, certification, I don't know what is that for, legitimacy. And we believe in the rule of law and justice. So there are 10 plans that is, supported also by many politicians in the West, but unfortunately, those who don't want to see, a, a developed society or region in the Middle East, they don't want this organization to take the power. And this is
Yeah.
our base in Albania. This is the organization that is fighting Iranian regime. It's a Muslim organization that men and women are side by side fighting Iranian regime. Unfortunately, in 2003, they were bombed by USA and UK because they wanted to save Ayatollahs of Iran. Many of them were killed. They were disarmed, and still they are not. These are the women. You see that these are all women, yeah,
Yeah, I
Muslim
see
women.
that.
Yes, they are leaders. 70% of the population of this camp are men and 30% are women. But out of the leadership, 70% are women. Okay, so we believe that women have been oppressed throughout the history. So we have to lift them up. Okay, we have to give
Yeah.
them more power today so that they show that they can. Okay, because those muscular people, they say that no, women are weak, they don't know, they can't. So we are showing that no, they can. So there are, unfortunately,
I'm really glad to see that.
yes, unfortunately, there are, powers who don't want us to take the power, in Iran, and we are struggling. We are trying to persuade them that it is the best for everybody that we bring down the regime and take the power. Yes, and yes, I hope very soon it happens.
Well, I appreciate that, and that
Thank
helps
you.
me have a little bit better understanding, and I am with you all the way on
Thank
that.
you. Thank you, my sister. Okay. And
Okay.
you are always welcome here to ask any question. I would be more than glad to, to answer that.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so
Okay.
much.
Thank you. Take care. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye bye. Thank you. God bless you. Yeah, let me see. 229. Let me see the verse. 229. Quran. Sorry. Quran. Index. 229. 229. Okay, it says that, let me share it. Present. Where was that? Yes, sure. It says divorce is allowed twice, after which keep kindly or dismiss them, yeah, generously. Okay, You may not take back anything you have given them unless both of you fear that they may not be able to keep within the limits set by God. It is not then wrong for them if she buys her way out. Those are God's limits. Do not exceed them. Anyone who exceeds them is unjust. Okay, yes. So divorce is allowed twice, after which keep your wives kindly or dismiss them generously. All right, yes. Okay, this is also was another one. Thank you, Brother Sayed, for that. Either keep them kindly, yeah, or yes, let me see. In America, he would get shot. That's their way of solving disagreements. Who would get shot? I don't know. Let me see. Who would get shot? Miss K? Anything? I don't know where went our glass. I don't know if he's still here. Mr. Tree, any questions? Or anybody else would like to join? The link is there. I put it here again. Otherwise, let me see. By the way, I was going to share a video, yeah, that was very struck me. Let me see. It was actually the video was I think last year. Yeah, this video about how what happened. Sorry. What happened? I'm trying to share a video, and that this is disturbing this browser. Okay, it was a funeral of a journalist. It was last year, I think, in Israel. She was a Christian, and they were, treating people so savagely, actually. And I was thinking, first I thought it is a, funeral of Muslims, but it was not. It was a Christian journalist. Okay, let me share with you.
To interrupt you, as you see that the police there, that there's already some trouble. They're beating the crowd back here. While the casket has been taken through the gates there, they're holding back large numbers of the crowd. But I'm not sure what's going on here. You can see these pictures too, right? Marwan, hang on, Marwan is speaking. We can't hear him. Hang on a second.
And they are just going to take a casket from somewhere to the church.
Marwan, I think we can hear you now.
I have never seen security forces attack a funeral with such audacity, with such chutzpah, the way this scene is evolving right now in front of us. They are trying to carry, and they're trying to bury one of their own, and the police is there as if there is an enemy ahead of them. It's their own victim being buried, and here they are with such an incredible rudeness again, I mean, I have reported, I have analyzed, I've looked at news throughout the world for decades, and I've never seen a scene like this. Look at that, attacking innocent people, carrying a casket. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say either. It's like Nazi Germans, actually. You know, there are a bunch of Nazis, and you know, it is not a threat. It is not a bomb. This is just a funeral. Okay.
Anymore. What are they expecting now? This is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Then they say Hamas is savage. Yes, Hamas is savage, but you are too savage. Look.
Oh my God.
And this is not a Muslim funeral. It's a Christian funeral.
Such disrespect for the dead and for those who are mourning the dead. No respect for people alive and no respect for the people dead. Adrian, please tell me, and maybe our viewers around the world will tell us, how are these people a threat to Israel? How are they a threat to security? They are in their courtyard trying to mourn one of their own dead. How is that a security threat to anyone? How is that disorderly? Why does that require this kind of repression, this kind of...
Anyway, finally, they go to the church. I think, yeah. Here is the priest.
But have you been surprised by the straightful feeling that we're seeing here today?
I am never surprised. You can be in your life, you can be sad, you can be happy, but never be surprised. Even when Shireen was killed, I was not surprised because everything is expected in this world. Because the man should be brother for his brother, the man, not to be wolf for him and kill him.
So we better let you go. Father, thank you so much indeed for your time. We do appreciate it. And there's Father Curry, who's actually taking part in the service that will be getting underway very soon. Not quite sure what's happened as far as I can see. I can see the coffin now being carried into the church. You can see how packed it is and how many thousands of people.
Okay. Anyway, that was last year, and they were so brutal, you know, barbarians against these.
I don't understand why they are attacking the funeral. You know, this is insane.
Insane. I mean, there are a bunch of you know, Nazis, I can say. All right, and they don't care about anybody. And I mean, this is what to say at all. This has any justification, not at all. Understand? That you have killed a journalist that shouldn't be killed. You have killed a journalist, and then it is her funeral, and she's not even a Muslim that you treat them like this. She's a Christian, okay? And they want to take her coffin to the church. All right. So if you don't have any question, maybe we can wrap it up because.
I like to say last thing about
yes,
it.
please. Yes.
You know, Allah say about the moment. You know, moment.
Yes, moment. Yeah.
Allah promised moment. Those who are moment, He will keep them happy. You know, regardless of what they are in health, they have bad health. He will keep them happy. If they are poor, He will keep them happy. And if the family member die, Allah promised them He will keep them happy. And this thing I saw in Palestinian, you know, in Gaza. These people, I do not saw them. They crying like a hopelessness in me. I do not saw hopelessness in these people. And other thing, Allah, one ayah, it says, I will cast Torah in their heart. You know, I think you know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this, I see this Torah in the heart of this Israeli. You know, they are dreaming. They are dreaming and they are crying. You know, they saw something. If you look at there, they are very afraid of in Gaza to going into the another thing is psychiatric. They're facing a lot of psychiatric problem. You know, so I think that's I have fit on this Allah. I will cast them affair in their heart. So I think that's Allah involved in this. In Gaza. That's what I believe. And I saw these Palestinian people are happy even in this situation. They do not lose the hope. You know, if you look the Israeli funeral, the people who die Israeli and the Palestinian who die, if you compare both of them, you will find Israeli are hopelessly crying, but you don't see the Palestinian hopelessly crying. You know. So I believe these Palestinians are real moment people. You know, I may be not moment, but these people are the real moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for being here, brother. And if there is nothing, then yeah, we can. If nobody has a question, then we can finish the stream and see you next week, inshallah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Before we go. Yeah, thank you for being here, everyone, and those who called in. Thank you very much, and please welcome every Saturday if you have any question. Assalamu alaikum. God bless you. God bless you, everybody. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.